Hello, I'm Dr. Debbie, and this is Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. We offer gentle, evidence-informed, soul-rooted practices for adults, children, and families, supporting whole person healing, health, and wellness with a special focus on nervous system regulation, emotional wellness, identity and self-connection, healing in everyday life, and balance that actually works in the real world. Our work is guided by the power of three: energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, and herbal wisdom. We strive to help heal the whole person, a truly comprehensive, integrated approach. This work continue in a sustainable and accessible way. We have created Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio on Patreon. Patreon allows this work to exist without overwhelm, without high financial barriers, and without asking people to do more than they are able. There is a space for you here at whatever level feels right. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. It is Friday. How is everybody after this long week? I hope you are all doing well. Welcome to Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. As you know, we live stream every night, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tonight is a very, very, very special topic to me. We are going to talk about children. And whether you are a parent, a caregiver, an auntie, a grandmom, a friend of any one of those, and you know that children are struggling, hence parents are struggling, this live stream is for you. So once and for all, for this week to end, let's take a deep breath in. Push it all away, all the emails, let's get present, all the emails, conversations, everything from today, everything from this week, just let it go. Breath in. Push it away. Let's do our heart connection with your internal voice, or say it out loud. I connect with my heart. It's so important for us to be connected with our creator of all that is, ourselves, the others, and the universe, so that we can be present and focused in the moment. So without further ado, let's get started. Let me get my items up. So once again, my Evolve Global 22 family, thank you for being here. If you are joining us for the first time, I'm Dr. Debbie, and this is Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am grateful to everybody who comes and joins us or watches us via recording later. Before we talk about children, behavior, parenting, or caregiving, just make sure that we arrive together. We did our little breath work, so we are ready. We are in the moment. And first and foremost, tonight is not about blaming parents or anybody. And it's definitely not about blaming children. And it's not about adding pressure to already overwhelmed families. Tonight, my friends, as always, is about understanding. Because when we understand, then we can strategize and think and create appropriate responses and supports for our children or whomever we are speaking about. Children are always communicating, even when they don't have words. And very often, behavior is the language. So let's get right into it tonight. Learning point number one: behavior is communication, not misbehavior. Children do not wake up every day wanting to struggle. They do not yet have the brain development or emotional language to say, I'm overwhelmed. I feel unsafe. I don't know how to handle this feeling. This is too much for me. So what happens? Their body speaks instead. Crying, yelling, shutting down, defiance, hyperactivity, withdrawal, to name a few. These are not character flaws, my friends. They are messages. When a child's internal world becomes too intense, behavior becomes the outlet. This means our role is not to control the behavior first, but to interpret it. Let's think about this for a moment. All parents and caregivers, think about this. Teachers, anybody who works with children. When my child or when our children struggle, what do I assume about them? Do I see behavior as intentional or as informational? And how might my response change if I assumed my child or this child was communicating a need? Learning point number 2. The nervous system drives behavior before logic. Children's nervous systems are still developing. Their emotional brain comes online before their thinking brain does. This means stress responses activate faster than reasoning. Fear overrides listening. Overwhelm shuts down learning. When a child is dysregulated, they literally cannot hear lectures, process consequences, or just calm down. No child learns while they feel unsafe. Behavior does not change through correction alone. It changes when the nervous system returns to regulation. My friends, this is why punishment often escalates behavior instead of resolving it. Think about this. When I am working with my child or other people's children, do I try to teach lessons while my child is already overwhelmed? What signs tell me my child is dysregulated? How do I regulate myself before responding? Learning point number 3. Labels can explain, but they cannot replace understanding. We live in a time where children are labeled quickly. And labels can help. They can help access resources, offer language, or bring relief to families. But labels can also quietly become an identity. This is what I am. This is what I will always be. This is what's wrong with me. When labels come before understanding, we miss the child's story. Instead of asking, what does this diagnosis say? We must also ask, what is the child responding to? What changed before this behavior appeared? What stress is this child carrying? Understanding must always come before intervention. Let's think about this. Ask yourselves this. Have I relied on a label without experiencing the root? Have I relied on a label without exploring the root? How might my child internalize how we talk about them? And what about curiosity? What would curiosity look like instead of judgment? Another long week, my friends. Learning point number 4. Children communicate through the whole system. Might I say the power of 3? Children don't communicate in just one way. They communicate through their entire system, which is why one-size-fits-all solutions rarely work. Let's put this in the context of the power of 3. Now, remember, the power of 3 is energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, and herbal wisdom. So let's talk about the nervous system and energy first. Children become sensitive to tone, tension, and noise. They emotionally mirror, they look at the emotional mirroring of adults. They mirror adults. Big reactions happen to small stressors. All of that is connected to their nervous system and their energy. So how does it appear in the body and biology? Hunger and sleep deprivation, gut discomfort, sensory overload, growth and hormonal changes. Then what about environment and support? Let's talk about overscheduling, screen overload, emotional stress in the home, lack of rest, rhythm, and play. Behavior emerges when these systems are overloaded. When we support the system, behavior often shifts naturally. Let's think about this. Which layer might be affecting my child right now? Am I correcting behavior or supporting the system? What small shift could bring more regulation? And now, my friends, learning point number 5. Connection regulates before correction ever can. Let me say this again because it's so important. Connection regulates before correction ever can. Children do not learn regulation through fear. They learn it through relationship. And this is why, with 30 plus years of experience working with children in K-12, if a teacher, an administrator, any educational professional in the education world who works with children, or anybody who works with children in any way, if you build when you learn about behavior management, you learn about building relationship with the child, because children learn through relationship. Before a child can listen, learn, or change a behavior, they must feel safe, seen, and supported. A regulated adult nervous system is the most powerful tool a child has. That's why if a parent, caregiver, teacher, or whomever it may be, if they are dysregulated, they cannot help a child to regulate. When adults slow down, breathe, soften their voice, and stay present, children borrow that regulation. Discipline becomes guidance, structure becomes safety, and connection becomes the bridge to growth. Let's think about this. Ask yourself these questions. Do I prioritize connection before correction? How does my tone affect my child's response? What helps my child feel safe with me? Now let's talk about some real life scenarios. Let's look at behavior, what it's telling us, and supportive responses. Scenario 1, the child who explodes over small things. The behavior, this is what it looks like: big meltdowns over minor issues. What is it telling us? The nervous system is overloaded and has no margin. A supportive response would be reduce the stimulation, slow transitions, offer co-regulation before problem solving. This applies to if it's your child, if it's a child you are working with, this works. The supportive response is to reduce stimulation, slow transitions, offer co-regulation before problem solving. Scenario number 2, the child who won't listen. The behavior, ignoring instructions, appearing defiant. What is it telling us? The child is dysregulated, not oppositional. Supportive response, pause, lower your voice, make eye contact, regulate first, then redirect. Scenario number 3, the child who shuts down. The behavior, silence, withdrawal, and avoidance. What is it telling us? Safety feels uncertain. Expression feels risky. A supportive response would be remove the pressure, offer presence, allow expression on the child's timeline, not our timeline. Scenario number 4, the child who can't sit still. The behavior, constant movement and restlessness. What is it telling us? The body needs movement to regulate. Supportive response, build-in movement, sensory input, and physical outlets before expecting stillness. Scenario number 5, the child who regresses. The behavior, baby talk, clinginess, or loss of skills. What is it telling us? Stress, transition, or insecurity. A supportive response, meet the child where they are, reinforce safety, avoid shame or pressure. So tonight, my friends, it's Friday, and I wanted to make this live stream a little bit short, but very important, and just make sure that we hit the most important points. Here is a summary of our learning. Here are the truths to carry with you. Behavior is communication, not defiance. The nervous system drives behavior before logic. We talked about labels cannot replace understanding. We also learned children communicate through their whole system, and connection regulates before correction. Children, my friends, are not broken. They are responding intelligently to the world around them. When we listen beneath the behavior, we don't just help children, we heal families and future generations. Now, as always, our 5 journaling and reflection questions to help with integration. I always post these in the description and usually in the first comment. Number 1, what behaviors in my child feel hardest for me and why? Number 2, what patterns do I notice during times of stress or change? Number 3, how does my own nervous system shape my responses? Number 4, what does my child need more of right now? Rest, connection, structure, or space? And number 5, what would it look like to lead with understanding instead of control? As always, my friends, if you find value in any of these live streams or any of my free content, please visit us on Patreon. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio is now on Patreon. If this resonates with you anywhere, take a look. If you're a parent, a caregiver, an educator, or someone who wants to understand children deeply, or find support for yourself, because we work with individuals, adults, children, and families, I want to invite you to our community. This space exists. These conversations need time, safety, and depth. That is why we have 2 tiers. One is simply a community supporter for just $1 a month. This tier helps keep this work accessible and live. It supports free teachings like this and the broader Evolve Global 22 mission. Also know that all proceeds coming from Patreon go back into Patreon and back into free servicing for individuals and families who cannot afford full servicing packages, whether they get completely free packages or extremely discounted packages. That is the purpose of Patreon, one of the purposes of Patreon. In tier 2, that's the Founders Healing Circle. That is where we go deeper for those who want support with low commitment. They want to be able to be a part of the community and grow together with us. There's expanded teachings, practical tools, nervous system informed guidance, support for adults who care for children, supports for adults who have families, supports for adults who need individualized attention. If you've ever thought, I want to do better, but I need support too. This space is for you. The link is in the description and in the first comment. Now, always remember, healing lives here and wholeness lives within you. Have a wonderful weekend. Take time this weekend to regulate, step back, do some journaling, do something for you. I love you all. Take care, and I will see you.